So do you also use Cognito Forms to receive registrations or any kind of form submissions for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to understand how to create GoToWebinar Registrant on Cognito Forms submissions. So here I am hosting an online webinar in my GoToWebinar account, and for the registration, I have created a registration form using Cognito Forms. So here my objective is that whenever I am going to receive a new form submission, then automatically the person who has made the form submission should be added as a new registrant in my GoToWebinar account under that particular webinar. So now here to automate the entire process, I need to connect my Cognito Forms with my GoToWebinar account using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So to see the working of this automation and to learn this process step by step, let me take you to my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So as the owner of a professional training company, I have integrated my Cognito Forms with GoToWebinar to automatically add individuals who submit a registration form for an upcoming webinar directly to my GoToWebinar registrant list. So now here in this video, firstly we are going to see the working of this amazing automation that I've already built by simply connecting my Cognito Forms with my GoToWebinar account. So this is my registration form that I've created using Cognito Forms, and here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is made using this particular form, then automatically the person who has made the submission should be added as the new registrant in my GoToWebinar account under a specific webinar. So here we are going to test this automation by simply making a form submission. So here I'm going to click on the submit. And here you can see it says, thank you for filling out the form. Your response has been recorded. That means we have successfully made the form submission. So now let's go and check our GoToWebinar account. Here I'm going to refresh it. And here you can see we have successfully created a new registrant over here with the name dummy user and the email as dummy@pabblytudes.com. So with this, we have successfully seen the working of this amazing automation. Now here in this video, we are going to learn step by step that how you can create this amazing automation by simply connecting your Cognito form with GoToWebinar account using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software, and it connects all your favorite apps and makes them work together seamlessly. You can set it up to do things automatically like updating customer info across platforms or sending notifications when something important happens. It's really easy to use and saves you tons of time that you can spend on more important stuff. So here on my screen you can see Pabbly Connect's homepage, and you can visit it by simply browsing for the URL pabbly.com/connect/inr/ in your browsers. And here you can see two options, that are sign in and sign up free. If you're a new user, click on sign up free and get 300 tasks every month to explore the software. And if you're an existing user, click on sign in. So here I'm an existing user, so I'm clicking on sign in. Now after signing in, here you can see all Pabbly apps window where you can see all the applications of Pabbly. Here to integrate my applications, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. Now this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, and here to build my connection, I need to create a workflow first. So for that, here I'm going to click on this create workflow button given on the top right corner. Now here in this create workflow dialog box, I have to give a name to my workflow. So here I'm going to give the name as create GoToWebinar Registrant on Cognito Form submission. And now here after giving a name to my workflow, here it is asking me to select the folder. So here in the left side corner of this dashboard, you can see a folder section under which you can see all the folders that I've created with different names to save my workflows accordingly. So here in this particular case, I'm going to select my folder as automations. You can select the folder as per your need. Also, you can create multiple folders to save your workflows accordingly. And now here to learn how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect, you have to click on this learn more hyperlink given over here. And by clicking on this, it will take you to a forum window where you can see all the instructions to how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect. So now moving back to my Pabbly's dashboard, and here to create a new workflow, I'm going to click on this create button given over here. Now here in this workflow window, you can see we have successfully created a workflow, and here on my screen you can see the two most important principles of an automation process, that are trigger and action. Where trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means action is a response towards a trigger. Your automation can have a single trigger but multiple action steps. Now let's begin our automation by simply setting up a trigger. So here I'm going to select my trigger application as Cognito Forms, as I'm going to receive new form submissions through Cognito Forms. So Cognito Forms is an easy to use online form builder that lets you create forms for surveys, registrations, payments and more. It's popular because it offers customizable templates and powerful features like calculations, conditional logic and payment collection, all without needing coding skills. So here in my Cognito Forms trigger step, I'm going to select my trigger event as new entry, so that whenever you're going to receive new entry through Cognito Forms, then automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response, or you can see automatically this entire workflow is going to get triggered. And now here, after selecting my trigger event, you can see I have received a webhook URL. That means here I'm going to use this webhook URL to connect my Cognito Forms with Pabbly Connect. So here, following the instructions given below, firstly I'm going to copy this webhook URL, and here I've already logged in my Cognito Forms account. So this is my Cognito Forms account, and here under all forms you can see all the forms that I've created using Cognito Forms. And here in this particular case I'm going to use my form which is named as registration form. So I'm going to open it. And here in this form you can see an option of post JSON data to a website in this left side bar. So here I'm going to turn it on, and then here it is asking me for the submit entry endpoint. So here in this submit entry endpoint field, I need to enter the webhook URL that I've received in my Pabbly's workflow to receive the form responses on this particular webhook URL. So I've entered the webhook URL, and now I'm going to click on the save given over here. And here you can see we have successfully set up a webhook inside our Cognito form. So now let's publish this form. And here you can see we have received a shareable link. So here I'm going to open it in a new tab. And with this, we have successfully connected our Cognito Forms with Pabbly Connect. And here you can see it is waiting for webhook response. That means here to receive a webhook response, we need to do a test submission. And to do a test submission, we need to generate a test response in our Cognito Forms. So for that, let me take you back to my form. And now here I'm going to enter some dummy data and do a test submission. So here I'm going to fill the data. So here let's suppose that I've entered the first name as test, last name as lead, email as test@pabblytunes.com. Here I've entered a random phone number, and then city as Ajmer, and then I'm going to click on this submit. And here you can see it says thank you for filling out the form. Your response has been recorded. That means here we have made the successful form submission. So now let's go and check our Pabbly's workflow. And here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received the phone, last name, full name, first name, scrolling little down. And here you can see some other details as well, such as the email, scrolling little down, and the city of the person. So with this, we have successfully set up a trigger over here. So once we have received a new entry through Cognito Forms, I want to add the person who has made the form submission as a new registrant in my GoToWebinar under a specific webinar. So for that, I need to connect my GoToWebinar account with Pabbly Connect in this action step over here. So here I'm going to select my action application as GoToWebinar. So GoToWebinar is a platform that lets people host online webinars, and it's easy to use and allows businesses and individuals to hold live or recorded webinars for large audiences. People use GoToWebinar because it helps them reach many viewers, engage with their audience through interactive features, and manage their webinars smoothly. So here in my GoToWebinar action step, I'm going to select my action event as create registrant, so that whenever we're going to receive new entry through Cognito Forms, then automatically the person who has made the form submission is going to be added as a new registrant in our GoToWebinar account. I'm now here to connect my GoToWebinar with Pabbly Connect. Here I'm going to click on this connect. Here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your GoToWebinar account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. And now here to build a new connection, it is asking me to enter the from time and the to time. And here in the help text it says from time in UTC format required during fetching your webinar list. That means here I need to enter the timings in the UTC format. So here to get this from and the to time of my webinar, let me take you back to my GoToWebinar account. And here you can see the timing of my webinar, that is 10 AM to 11 AM, but the timing over here is in IST format. So here to get the UTC format time, I need to convert this IST time zone to the UTC time zone. So for that, we are going to use a converter. So here I'm going to open a new tab, and here I'm going to search IST to UTC converter. So I'm going to select it, and here I'm going to select a random converter, and then here it is asking me to enter the IST time over here. So here I'm going to select the time, that is 10 AM. And I'm going to click on this OK. And here you can see we have received the UTC time, that is 4:30 a.m. for the 10 a.m. IST time zone. So now let's go back to our Pabbly's workflow. And now here to enter the UTC format, I'm going to copy this format. I'm going to copy this format given over here. And I'm going to paste it over here. And now here I'm going to edit this date and the time. So firstly here I'm going to enter the date, that is 2024, month is December, and the date is 23. So here I've entered the date, and now here for the time I'm going to enter the UTC format time, that is 4:30. And with this we have successfully added the from time. So now I'm going to copy this format, then I'm going to paste it over here in the to time. And now here my webinar is for 1 hour. That means here I'm going to add a 1 hour timing in this to time over here. So here instead of 4:30 I'm going to enter 5:30, and then I'm going to click on this save. And then here it is asking me please authorize the app. So here I'm going to authorize the app by clicking on this connect with GoToWebinar. Authorization successful. And with this we have successfully connected our GoToWebinar with Pabbly Connect. And here you can see it is asking me to select the webinar. So here I need to select the webinar under which I want to create new registrants. So here to get this webinar name, let me take you back to my GoToWebinar account. And here you can see the webinar that I'm going to conduct with the name Unlock Your True Potential Personality Development Webinar. So moving back to my Pabbly's workflow, and here I'm going to select that particular webinar. And then here it is asking me to enter the first name, last name, email, and some other details as well. So now here instead of entering these details manually, here I'm going to map the data. Mapping data means insert data from previous step. That means here I'm going to map the data from the response that I've received in my trigger step. Mapping makes a text dynamic so that whenever we're going to receive new entries through Cognito Forms, then automatically this previously existing detail will be updated with the new one. So I'm going to search for the first name. So this is the first name, so here I'm going to map it. Here for the last name, I'm going to search for the last name. So this is the last name. Here for the email, I'm going to search for the email. So this is my lead's email. Here this address is not a required field, so here I'm going to leave it blank. But if you want to add any other detail, then you can do it as per your need. And then here for the city, I'm going to search for the city. So this is the city. Moving forward, again here the state, zip code and country are not required fields, so here I'm going to leave them blank. And here for the phone number, I'm going to map the phone number. So this is the phone number, and now here after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request given over here. And here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received the registrant key and the status as approved. That means we have successfully added a new registrant in our GoToWebinar under a specific webinar for the new entry received through our Cognito Forms. So now let's go and check it, and I'm going to refresh it. And here you can see we have successfully created a new registrant over here with the name test lead and the email as test@pabblytudes.com. So with this, we have successfully set up this entire automation. Now let me summarize this whole video for you. So here we have taken a trigger as Cognito Forms and an action as GoToWebinar, so that whenever a new entry is received through Cognito Forms, then automatically the person who has made the form submission is going to be added as a new registrant in my GoToWebinar account under a specific webinar. Okay, so with these steps, we have successfully built this automation, and this automation eliminates the need for manual data entry and ensures that every attendee is automatically registered for the event. With this integration, I can streamline the sign-up process, save time, and focus more on preparing valuable content for my audience. So these were the steps to how to create GoToWebinar registrant on Cognito Forms submission. I hope these steps were clear to you. Now, if you want to use the same workflow, then you can find the clone link in the description box below. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.
Not only these applications, you can integrate many other applications with Pabbly Connect. So now if you have any doubt, then you can email us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any query, then you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can simply visit our website, that is www.pabbly.com. So now if you liked our video, then please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.